I'm a buy and never sell kind of investor, but I have sold a few stocks in the past. I have sold stocks that I realized were mistakes to begin with. I have sold stocks that did not move for a few years and then they moved after I sold. And I have sold stocks when I needed the money for my requirements and had no other assets to encash. In fact, I had also created an illustration sometime back on when you should sell your stocks. I'll show that illustration on the screen now. So as you can see in this illustration, there are 4 key reasons for which I sell my stocks. The first is when I get the facts wrong and I accept those facts, my mistake, and I move on. The second is when I buy into a good business, but the facts are changing for the worse, I would sell my stock and move on. The third is when I find a better opportunity, but I do not have the liquidity or the necessary cash to invest in an opportunity, I would maybe sell the worst stock or worst business in my portfolio and reinvest in a better opportunity. And it has to be a much, much better opportunity compared to the worst business in my portfolio. And the fourth reason for which I sell my stock is when I need cash for meeting some financial commitment. So these are 4 key reasons. Of course, you can pause the video now and you can see the reasons for which I do not sell my stocks. But one reason I have never sold my stocks ever is a fear that the markets have run up quite a lot and should crash anytime now. Despite market surges making me anxious and a bit dejected because I miss out on buying more, I have never let this anxiety push me to sell in hopes of timing the market right. The main reason I hold on to my stocks, no matter what the market seems to be up to, is that I invest only in high quality businesses. These are companies I believe will perform well over the next several decades. And I'm not here to outsmart anyone or act like a savvy investor who can perfectly time the market. That's not my game. My investment approach is simple, inspired by an old Hero Honda ad from the mid-80s, which said, fill it, shut it, forget it. Of course, I don't literally forget my stocks. I check on them from time to time, but the idea is to invest and let it be without losing sleep over short-term market movements. We all understand the idea of compounding, but my biggest lesson in compounding is that saving more, thinking long-term, and allowing compound interest to work in your favor acts as accelerators for wealth creation. There is nothing complex about this. You can even be the world's worst market timer and still build great wealth over 3-4 decades only if you do one thing, and that is to keep buying quality investments and never sell. In the show notes of this episode, I will link an article written by Ben Carlson that explains this fact with an example. Now, of course, the idea of buy and hold is simple, but not easy to practice. It involves making hundreds of small decisions to essentially do nothing over the long term. Also, businesses change from time to time, and so do emotions, and so do the behaviors of other investors around us, and so do conditions in the stock market and of our portfolios. And that's why sitting on stocks, the ones that remain high quality, is not as simple as it sounds. And that's why patience is one of the most important yet difficult skills one can cultivate and must cultivate while investing in the stock market. George Baker once said something profound that Thomas Phelps quoted in his book 100 to 1 in the stock market. So he said, and I quote, "To make money in stocks, you must have the vision to see them, the courage to buy them, and the patience to hold them." Of these, I think patience is the rarest and the hardest to master. But if you can cultivate the skill and practice it diligently, it pays off handsomely in the long run. That's how fortunes are made in the stock market. Not by getting jittery over what the market does next, but by preparing for the long grind and keeping your cool. That's a wrap for today's discussion. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more insights and remember, invest wisely, think long term, and cultivate patience. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.